I am Steve.
The Minecraft movie is finally out. Now, I'm sure you all are wondering, how good was the movie? I'm going to break that down for you today. So first off, I'm going to give just a brief overview of what I felt about the movie and the general gist of some of the stuff. Then I will go into an explanation of stuff that you've seen, like, basically up to where they show in the trailer, and then I will give a full spoiler for the entire movie at the end. If you want to see more content like this, please let me know by leaving a like button, subscribing, and don't forget to comment down below. I went and saw the Minecraft movie today in theaters at 4:20 because I thought it'd be funny with my brother. And just first general thing was there was a ghost. First general thing is there were a lot of kids going to the movie. I'm glad my brother went with me because I was originally going to go on my own, and then we got there and it was like a parent with five-year-olds walking into these movies, and I'm glad that I did not go by myself, otherwise I might have been put on some kind of list. But we went and saw it, and where do I even begin for this movie? If we're talking about like an actual movie, like perceiving it as the story and how well everything went together, maybe a 4 out of 10, maybe. That's being generous, I feel like. It's being generous because I at least knew Minecraft and what was going on. There's been worse movies that I've seen that were better than this movie, for storytelling wise. Like, I've seen some terrible movies, and they had more plot development than this movie did. It was completely just awful. Laying that aside, the acting was even worse. I've been a big fan of Jack Black for a long time. Obviously, Kung Fu Panda is one of my top favorite movies of all time. So I love Jack Black. This was one of his worst roles I have ever seen him play. For like a comedic standpoint, it was hilarious. But the entire movie was him just doing the stuff that he did in the trailer, which was flint and steel and the nether and stuff like that. The entire movie was just him talking like that. Every single word he said was super intense and deep, and I have to be this sophisticated guy. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. Jason Momoa's character was actually kind of funny. Like, it was decent. It was the, oh, I'm a big tough guy, but I'm also a nerd, so I'm gonna do stupid stuff and make stupid decisions. Blah, blah, blah. His character was just, he played the part. It was fine. I mean, if this was like a serious movie, it would have been a horrible character, but for the comedic weirdness of this movie, it was fine. Then Emma Myers, is that how you pronounce her name? It's the girl from Wednesday. That's the only thing that I have seen her from, even though I've never seen Wednesday, but that's a whole nother story. Her character was kind of like a foil to the main character of the movie, but even then she just kind of felt useless. Like, her character was just there, I guess. Same thing with, is it Danielle Brooks, I think is her name? Her character really served no purpose to the story either. Both of the characters were just kind of there in the movie, and they didn't really have any purpose, which was weird. And then the main character, played by Sebastian Hansen, he did alright. He was fine. But just, he was your stereotypical nerd. And, yeah. So casting-wise, it was like watching a Disney Channel original TV show. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen better acting in Lab Rats than I did in this movie. And Lab Rats has horrible acting. However, if you take those two things, the acting and the actual, like, plot and writing, throw them out the window, it is actually a hilarious movie. It's so poorly written that it loops back around to being hilarious. I don't think I've laughed so hard in a theater in a long time. And it was because of how bad it was. It was not good. Don't get me wrong. It was not a good movie. I would not recommend this to people on the fact that it is a good movie. I would recommend this to people on the fact that if you walk into this movie with the lowest expectations possible, it is one of the best movies ever because of how bad it is. My brother and I were sitting in the theater crying, laughing because of how ridiculous everything was. It was not good. Not at all. But it was hilarious. So now I'm going to move into some minor spoilers a little bit from like the trailer and how it tied into the movie and stuff like that. So you can turn this video off, or you can come back and watch it later on once you've seen the movie yourself. Or if you don't care, go ahead and continue watching. I'm going to be honest, not really going to spoil anything for you. I mean, the movie's not the biggest brain thing. It's not like I'm trying to explain the plot to The Prestige to you. So in the trailer, obviously, you see Steve consistently going, flint and steel, the nether, water bucket, really, you know, all these really stupid lines. That's his entire dialogue for the movie, practically. That's all he does. He serves some purpose. Oh, there's some kind of floaty. Yeah. Get out of here. He serves really no purpose, aside from being like a narrator slash guide to, oh, this is where we should go next, and this is what we need to do over here. He'd serve no purpose. However, he delivered one of the funniest lines in the entire movie. So this is minor spoilers for the very beginning of the movie. We're sitting in this theater. There are children everywhere. All the way behind us, you know, where we like to sit a little bit closer up, like towards the middle area, because that's where like the sound's usually the best. So we're pretty far up in this theater. Bunch of kids behind us, you know, 2 grown men watching the Minecraft movie. And it's dark. The logos have gone by. Everything's like, you know, the music's starting to come in, and all of a sudden we just hear Jack Black say, "The overworld." And that was it. That's all it took. Dom and I were sitting there for about the first 3 minutes into the movie, and we had tears streaming down our face. It was the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen. It was not good. The beginning of the movie was just the overworld. And that's all it took. We lost it. And we're crying. All these little kids are in this theater, not understanding what's going on, and we're dying of laughter in the front row. Just, bawling our eyes out. It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, words cannot describe how bad it was. It just, and the entire movie was stuff like that. The entire movie was just the stupidest stuff. With no plot development. At all. You know, from the trailer you see the big bad, the one piglin witch lady, I forget her name, it starts with an M. They said it like 17 times, but I still don't remember it. You know, her whole goal is send the piglins out into the overworld so that, you know, you can destroy creativity. That was her whole motivation, was just that. And then the main characters, you know, the girl and the boy are brother and sister, and they are moving into this town because the sister got a job for the major chip corporation in there. And then the kid is one of the nerdy, oh, I'm a science guy, oh, I can build a jetpack for some reason. And, oh, my class picks on me because I'm new and I'm a nerd. And literally they spent like a minute introducing these, like, extra characters. And that was the plot. That was it. That was the only plot that they gave us. Was just, oh, they picked on me. So he does some stuff, gets in trouble. Then he meets Jason Momoa's character, and he's like this retired video game expert guy, and you know, but he's in debt. He's in super debt. And so he can't, you know, pay for anything. And they find this crystal thing, and then he's like, oh my goodness, this crystal is leading me to this portal. And then the sister's like, I can't find my brother. And then the realtor, who is also for some reason a traveling zoo person, so she just has animals sticking out of her car. They track him down using the GPS that the sister didn't know about on the phone, going to the mines. And then they walk through the portal because they get sucked into it. They go into the portal, and that's how it begins. And then, oh, the crystal breaks, and we need the crystal to go home. So we gotta go find the new crystal. That's literally how the plot begins. The characters that you were introduced to were the most stereotypical, just ridiculous motivations for characters ever, and that was all they gave you. They gave you nothing else. There was nothing remotely smart about these characters. Nothing that grabs your attention. And then it's like, oh, Steve's been in Minecraft for forever, and he's been building a bunch of stuff because he was lonely and couldn't be creative, but here you can be creative. And then they just throw you into the plot of, oh, we broke the crystal, now we gotta go get a new one. That was it. There was nothing else to this movie. I walked into it expecting to be disappointed. I take that back. I walked into this movie with the lowest expectation possible. I walked into this movie with the lowest expectations possible, so I could not be disappointed. And luckily, I was right, so I was not disappointed. But at the same time, it's like, this is supposed to be a Hollywood movie. I know it's kind of like geared for kids and blah blah blah, but it's like, can't you do something a little bit better? I mean, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie had better motivation, better writing, better acting. Ugh, he was bad. There was also a lot of like inconsistencies with Minecraft, but I'm sure you've seen a lot of videos on people talking about that, like the double water bucket or, you know, the pink sheep and stuff like that. But it was bad. It was so bad. It was such a bad movie. Go watch it though. It's hilarious if you haven't watched it. So here are some of the major spoilers for the movie. So if you don't care, continue watching. If not, go watch the movie, then come back and listen to what I have to say, and I'll just hit a few things. First off, there are two cameos, I guess you would say. There were like Easter egg cameos type thing. First off, Dan TDM is in the movie, and he showed up out of the blue because Jason Momoa's character goes to a what word am I looking for? It's an auction, but what kind of auction? Storage unit. He goes to a storage unit auction. So he walks into a storage unit auction because he hears that he might have struck a deal. And Dan TDM was one of the bidders. I looked at my brother and I was like, oh, it's Dan TDM. Because I was not expecting him to be in this movie. So he was in the movie. The other one was they did do I don't want to say Easter egg, like a memorial, whatever you call it, for Technoblade, where there was a pig that ran across the screen wearing a golden crown with the jewels. So Technoblade's signature thing. And if you guys don't know who Technoblade is, he was the Minecraft YouTuber who passed away from cancer, I believe. So he passed away in June of 2022 at the age of 23. So they gave him a little nod of respect by making the pig with the golden crown. That was really nice to see that they actually, for as bad as Mojang sometimes is, at least they actually respected someone who passed away, who was one of the major creators. So that was really nice to see. So the whole rest of the movie was just, they go to a woodland mansion and they run into the Illagers, but then this is where the chicken jockey scene comes into. Jason Momoa and Jack Black, they get put into a Illager fight club, and Jason Momoa has to fight against a chicken jockey. While they're doing that, the main character, I'll just start using I forget his actor's name, so I'll just use the movie name, Henry. He goes and has to find the new crystal so they can fix the beacon, so they can, leave. And he runs into an Enderman. Now, the Enderman, visually, I like what they did. And I don't know how lore accurate it is, but basically, the Enderman made the kid lose his mind. So if you stare at him, it wasn't just that the Enderman got mad, it was like you start seeing visions and everything's like, and everything starts freaking out. Like, so it was like Game-wise, it wasn't correct. I don't know lore-wise because I'm not as caught up on some of the Enderman lore. I'm sure there's going to be videos that other people will make that will explain it, but it was just something weird. I thought it was an interesting concept. I kind of wish that they would have made it a little more threatening, because the kid kind of beat it up in like 5 seconds after he like got his mind back. The amount of times that I've died to Enderman, he should have been a lot harder to beat. So that all happens, and then, oh no, Jason Momoa's character dies, and it's like, well, no, he didn't actually die. We know that. It was an off-screen death. He's not dead. He's coming back. It was obvious, because he blew himself up at the bridge, even though he could have made it. I hate it when movies do that type of stuff. It annoys me. So anyways, then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, the big bad lady got the orb, and now she's gonna take over the world. And so they're like, okay, time to prepare. So we're going to make all these weapons and armor and blah, blah, blah. But we're not going to use any of that. No. We're going to make a bunch of iron golems. And that's it. That was their whole plan. Now, the iron golem fight, I will say, was pretty cool to see. However, it didn't make any sense. Especially with the, I'm going to take the boots of swiftness and put it on top of the iron golem thing. And it's all going to become iron golem of swiftness. That doesn't make any sense! I don't get it. I did not get it at all. This movie broke everything. Then there was the weird, the stupid piglin who sounded gay because he talked like this and it was like sort of one of these things. And it was just, like it was funny because he shows up and he's like, I'm sorry about that. And it's like, oh, this is the character. And then you had the giant brute thing that was like, didn't make any sense. And then the creepers don't explode in that movie, really. They do explode, but it's not like actual creepers in Minecraft where it's like, they see you and it's like, you're going down. Like, they were standing next to creepers for like 5 minutes and they didn't do anything. It was stupid. There were some actual, like, really funny moments for the movie, and obviously I don't remember them all, and I'm not going to tell you all of them. However, one of the ones was the Iron Golem fight. Right before it happens, the big bad lady was like, oh, you idiots. Iron Golems only attack if they're provoked. And as she says that, one of the piglins shoots a crossbow at it, and it bounces off of them, and then all of a sudden it's just... and they start running towards the enemy. Like, it was... The comedic timing of it was actually hilarious. And then also at the very end fight, Steve shows up in the full diamond armor, which looks horrendous. It looks absolutely terrible. It doesn't look like you would protect him at all, and it's like there's no maneuverability in it. He gets taken out in like 5 seconds, but oh look, they destroyed the beacon, so now she's weak, so he can defeat her. And it's like, that was the fight. Then like Jason Momoa shows up and saves the day, and he's flying out of gas, and they poke the gas and make him shoot fireballs. Then the fireballs destroy an obsidian tower. The whole point of obsidian is it's explosion proof. It made me so mad. It didn't make any sense. It was like people who have never played Minecraft before made this movie, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was true. It would be such a good movie. Not really. But it would be such a better movie if they actually paid attention and got good writers and actually did good stuff, but they didn't. I was so mad. And then the ending with the witch lady was actually hilarious because she was like, come over here, I'm so weak. And he's like, what are you doing? Are you hiding a knife? And she's like, no, I'm too weak. I'm not gonna stab you. And then he like smacks the knife out of her hand, and then she's like, okay, come back over here. I have something to tell you. Don't worry, I don't have another knife. And then he smacks that knife out of her hands. It was pretty funny. Like, we actually laughed at that. I laughed at that. I thought it was funny. Basically, walk into the movie thinking it's going to be horrible. If you do that, you will have an amazing time. Do not expect anything good out of this movie, though. It is funny, and that's it. Also, there's a ghost going right around here. Stop that ghost. I don't like you. Also, the post-credit scene that they do have, the first one, the middle one, the villager starts talking, and I was like, I know this voice. I don't know where I know this voice, but I know this voice. And it was Matt Berry. And I was like, who is that? Why do I know him? I've figured out he plays Bubbles the dolphin in the SpongeBob movie. And that's why I knew the voice. You guys probably know him from other places, but that's where I knew him. He was in the movie as the villager's voice. And then, of course, the very last, the actual post-credit scene has the reveal of Alex and Steve meet. And that's how the movie ends. So, as far as actual rating, for an actual movie, like, it's got to be like a 3. It's so bad. However, for how much I actually enjoyed the movie, it's like an 8. I really enjoyed the movie because of how bad it was. It was so bad it looped back around to being funny. So, if you haven't seen it, watch it. You'll have a good time if you walk into it thinking it's going to be a bad time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to see me do something like this again, please let me know by once again hitting the like button, subscribing, and don't forget to comment down below on anything else you would like me to talk about. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.